Hello, everyone, and hello, everyone, and thank you so much. Welcome to our series of webinars for job hunters. And today's episode will be the common mistakes of job hunters. Now, I am Genesis May, your host for this webinar tonight. Please do share and tag this live stream with your friends or family who can really benefit from this event. Again, feel free to share this stream and don't forget put hashtag just workspace and hashtag common mistakes of job hunters. Don't forget that one. Now, if you're looking for a place where you can relax while working, please don't hesitate to check Just Workspace page on Facebook, and please do like and follow for more updates about jobs and opportunities. And of course, with special participation of MAPOA, Mapua Malayan First Digital College here in Visayas, and nandito lang yan sa Bacolod at Ayala Capital. Imagine, nandito lang sa Bacolod. MMDC is a tertiary academic institution that aims to bring a better brand. And we have also benefits our Bacolod Negros Federation for Information and Communication Technology. Their aim is the Bacolod Negros Occidental Federation of Information Communications Technology is to contribute to the economic growth of the whole province by helping generate jobs in the IT BPO industry. So before we start talking the common mistakes of job hunters, please don't forget to fill in the form to have a chance to win 12 hours consumable for a month of work on your reserved stations. Yes, 12 hours. Again, there are only 3 winners for those who submitted the form. Each episode has 3 winners. So for you to know who the winners are, you must check it on Just Workspace Facebook page. Now, I think this is the time. Let me introduce to you our guest speaker. She's one of a superwoman, a super mom, and of course, she is a human resource expert, CHRME, or Certified Human Resources Management Executive by American Certification Institute. Now, let me call on no other than Miss Maria Isabel F. Loxin.
Good evening, Genesis. Thank you for that very warm introduction. And thank you to all our live viewers who are here spending their time and trying to learn something new. Okay. I hope everybody can see the presentation on screen. All right, so for tonight, my topic is actually about the common mistakes of job hunters. So, what are the common mistakes people make when job hunting and how to avoid them? You might be wondering, like over the months or years, especially for the new graduates, you might be wondering, why am I not landing a job? Okay, so maybe one of the things that I've listed in this presentation will make you realize that, maybe that is why I'm not landing any jobs at all in any of the companies that I'm trying to apply to. Okay, so let us start. On to the next slide, please. Okay, so I put this as number 1 item on my presentation because not having a plan when job hunting is a very, very common mistake. Most of you will probably, look at the different job ads and say that, okay, I want this, I want that, just like when you go to the mall and try to shop for something, you always want to say, okay, I want that, I want this, I want that, but you don't entirely have a plan. Okay, so searching for a new job is almost a full-time job. as it takes hard work, time, and commitment to succeed in it. So the last thing you want to do is to, keep on sending out hundreds of resumes and wait for a reply that will or may never come. So it's important that you are organized and know how to go about your search. And nowadays, especially with the rise of online opportunities, or the online jobs, as most people call it, the market for the workforce has become fiercely competitive. So you need to have a strategic plan for your job search before you even begin searching for a job. Okay, so you have to decide where do you want to look for a job, and to identify the specific kind of roles that you want to apply for and whatnot. Okay, next, please. Okay, so how do you resolve the issue of not having a clear-cut plan when looking for a job? So number one, you have to clarify your job goals and you have to write them down. Okay, some people likes to write down. Some people's are a little bit more techy, so they want to have like project management tools. Okay, you can use anything that's comfortable to you, but the most important thing is you have to clarify your job goals. Okay, so why are you looking for a job in the first place? What do you need it for? Is it for personal growth? Is it for financial reasons, as most people have, as a reason? So you have to clarify your job goals, okay? And you have to write them down and try to stick with it and reevaluate it as you go along. Number two, you have to set a schedule to keep your job search plan on track, okay? So most of you, when you intend to apply to a job, you just apply to it on a random day, but you don't really quite plan it out as to when you want to do it and prepare for it in advance. Okay, so you have to set a schedule to keep your job search plan on track. Number three, you have to define your workspace. Okay, having your own little spot, especially for those online job hunters, you have to define your own little spot at home or wherever. Okay, there are because the one of the people who's organizing this event is Just Workspace. You can also make use of co-working spaces. Okay, and try to focus on your work area, and that's where you have to plan things out. Okay, you cannot just sulk in your sofa or squat at your dining area or wherever and do everything from there. No, the moment you try to plan things out in landing a job, you already have to define your own workspace from the onset, not when you land the job. Okay, so for men and women out there who's looking for online jobs or will are after companies who offers work from home arrangements, as early as now you have to define your own workspace and beautify it. Okay, design it in a way that suits your character and your personality, because believe me, it will motivate you to be good at your preparations when trying to apply for jobs. Number four, and this is very important, you have to practice your interview techniques. This is always what I tell family and friends of mine, that no matter how experienced you are in your field of work, before you apply for a job, you must always practice your interview. Okay, maybe get somebody like a friend of yours or a family member of yours, ask some interview questions that may be found online and practice, have like a role playing scenario. You have to practice your interview techniques no matter how experienced you are in your field. And number five, ask for help. Okay, this is a very common Filipino characteristics. Sometimes we are very shy to ask for help. Okay, maybe because we are hesitant to be judged, we don't want to bother other people. But this is not a bad thing at all to ask for help. So you can network with your friends and ask which jobs are currently hiring in their companies. You can also reach out to your school, probably in your guidance office, and see if they have any connections with companies that may have job openings. Okay, and not just for job openings. You can also ask help from friends, to help you with your role playing, in doing your interview techniques and whatnot, and even in preparing your resume, which is my next topic actually. Okay, next. Okay, there you go. So second mistake, and a very, very common one also, is submitting a one size fits all resume. Having grammatical errors on your resume and sending them out even if unsolicited. I recall when I was in college, there was one who advised us students that you should just get your resume out to as many companies as possible. Okay, just send them out. Okay, but when I became an HR practitioner, I realized that this does not work. Okay, applying for a job is not some kind of lottery. Okay, this is not lotto. Okay, when you apply for a job, you have to tailor fit your resume based on your character and based on your credentials. Okay, so on to the next slide, please. Okay, so your resume is not going to stand out unless you customize it a bit. Do this and you'll get at least double the number of responses. If you're not doing this, it's a big reason why you can't get a job or even an interview. Okay, unsolicited and crappy resumes are considered garbage. I'm sorry for the term. Scrap paper and wasted effort. Secretaries kill them, HR managers file them away, and hiring decision makers pitch them. I advocate abandoning this job search tactic completely. Just to share with you, in my over 16 years of being an HR practitioner, I've come across a lot of resumes already, both locally and from abroad. And the minimum amount of time that I spend on reviewing applications or resumes is at least 2 minutes. And believe me or not, just within 5 seconds of glancing at a resume, I already know when it is garbage. Okay, so you have to really take the time, okay, to beautify it and to amplify your credentials, using your writing skills. So some of you may not be so good in designing it. Some of you may not be so good in organizing it in a systematic manner or in a way that it's nice to the eyes. So this is when you ask for help. This is when you probably have to search online for ways on how to improve or how to write a very effective resume. Okay, next. Next is not preparing well enough for job interviews. I cannot reiterate this much, because not preparing well enough for job interviews, I've come across this a lot of times, that even the most skilled applicant that I have, like on the resume, it's really like very impressive the way they present themselves. But the moment they come in front of me and they talk about their experience, it's just not a good representation of what they have written. Okay, so and this is always what I've been telling all my friends and families also, and even those whom I've worked with. You have to sell yourself. Okay, on to the next slide, please, so I can discuss. Okay, when you boil it down, all job interviews are comprised of the basic elements. Okay, so number one, you have to articulate your value, because no matter how beautiful and nice your resume is, if you cannot articulate your value enough for the company to appreciate you, then your resume is nothing. Okay, number two, you have to convey your knowledge of the company. Okay, so you have to make your interviewer feel that you've actually researched about them, okay, and have known what you're trying to get into. Number three, you have to ask intelligent and relevant questions during your interview. And number four, you have to know how to negotiate your compensation. What I've noticed, especially from the younger generations who are not quite experienced yet, when I ask them how much, I don't straightforward ask like how much is your asking salary. No, normally what I ask is how much do you value yourself. That's always my interview question, because that is very telling. Okay, like I don't need to hear just an amount. I need to know why you think you are valued that much. Okay, so you have to know how to negotiate your compensation, and you have to justify it, not because you know your friend is earning that much. You have to justify why you need to earn that much. Okay, so number five is following through. Okay, you have to make sure who to contact after the interview, and make sure that you check back with them, and know, what's the status of your application. Okay, next, please. Okay. Next is your social media presence is unprofessional. For some of you, this may be shocking. Okay. For some of you may say that, okay, why does my Facebook have anything to do with my job application? Well, next slide. Let me tell you that in the age of social media at the moment, whether you like it or not, social media can play a part in whether you land the job that you want or not. Once an employer receives your application, they may check your social media accounts to try and learn more about you, to get more of a feel for who you are socially. Okay. Personally, I also do this because it's important to me how professional, the people that I want to hire. I want to know how they interact with other people in their social media accounts. So this is actually one of my background checks. Okay. Maybe some companies do not do this, but personally, I do this. And I tell you also, most of, like in bigger companies, and also those who are offering like, what do you call this, online opportunities, like as a freelancer, the network that I have in HR, we've talked about this actually recently, and we've shared that it is already a must within our practice to also check on, whether our applicants, those whom we intend to hire, are professional or not in their social media accounts. Next. Okay. Bad mouthing your previous or your current employer. Okay, this is a very big no. This is actually very glaring during interviews. Okay, because sometimes your interviewer would ask you, why are you applying here? And normally the default explanation of those who are applying is because they have issues from their current or their previous employer, which is very bad. Okay, you don't tell that to your interviewer, or if you want to share it, you have to professionally present it to them. Okay, you don't have to be like very direct, or very unprofessional in your remarks. Okay, next, please. Okay, so the bottom line is bad mouthing your former employer or employers at a job interview is one of the biggest interview faux pas that you can make. It can destroy your chances of landing the job, however unintentional it was. It's easy to underestimate how quickly one can undo a positive impression by a single badly worded comment. Okay, this happens a lot actually. Like during the interview, it really goes well, and then at the end, they make this very slightest bad remark about their previous employer, and everything just goes dwindling down, especially if they cannot justify it. Okay, so try to be very professional with the way you word your comments. I'm not saying that you should not share it, but at least be very professional about it. Next, please. Okay. Next is limiting yourself to just a few job boards or to just a few friends. Okay, if you're not very familiar with job boards. So when you try to job hunt, you have to network to as many people as possible in order to know in which jobs, companies can you apply. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so how do you address this? So number one, you have to check out industry specific job boards. So you have to know your skill sets. Okay, are you in HR? Okay, so there are specific job boards that are only for human resources professionals. Okay, are you a teacher or do you want to teach online? So there are also specific job boards for that. Are you like a graphic designer or a customer service representative or a technical support representative? Is that where you want to specialize? So there are specific job boards for each industry. Okay, are you in healthcare? Okay, are you in the BPO? Okay, so you have to just search for that online. There's just so many resources online for this. Number two, don't settle for being a spectator only. We are all guilty of this. Okay, spectator meaning you're just there in these job boards or in these forums or in these discussion boards as a spectator. You don't engage. Okay, so how are you gonna find out what opportunities there are for you if you're only staying on the sidelines? Okay, so try to engage yourself with the other members of those job boards, with the other members of those forums or discussion boards. Okay, number three, join professional organizations. Okay, number four, attend industry related conferences. In LinkedIn, there are just so many information there about conferences relating to various industries. So I encourage you, if you do not have a LinkedIn account yet, I encourage you to make one, to build one. And number five, network, network, network. I cannot emphasize this enough. Okay, you have to network so much. When I was a little bit younger, okay, I used to say that maybe I will survive in this world of employment just by myself. But no, I realized it as I go along how important it is to have a really wide range of network of professionals around you. Okay, next, please. Okay, this one is a very common also. Letting rejection affect the rest of your search. Next slide. So rejection can hurt, okay? Not necessarily during job hunting, but any kind of rejection can hurt. No one is going to tell you otherwise. When you put your time and energy into an interview, it can be disappointing to not get the job. So take some time off to just breathe and sit with your feelings. But once you have been rejected after an interview, take it as a learning opportunity. Do not withdraw yourself from that ongoing job hunting only because one of your most desired companies has rejected your application. Okay, so try to find out from the company why they think you're not suitable for that job role that you're trying to apply to, so that you can improve and be honest with yourself and evaluate, like, is there a reason why things are not working out for you as you've planned. Okay, next, please. Okay, so I don't want to take up so much of your time. I'm only supposed to have like a 50-20 minute talking time. So my parting quotes for you is, the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. So as long as you have dreams to land a job in this company, to hold a role like, for example, an executive or a trainer or a quality assurance specialist or whatnot, as long as you hold on to that dream, your life, your job hunting experience will be meaningful. Okay, don't let it go just because of rejections that you will come across along the way. And the next is, one important key to success is self-confidence. An important key to self-confidence is preparation. Okay, and next is, success doesn't come to you, you have to go to it. Okay, so thank you so much for your time. For benefit, Mapua Digital College and Just Workspace. Thank you so much for having me and giving me this opportunity to inspire our job seekers in, paving the way to having a good job hunting experience.
Okay, thank you so much, our dear speaker, Mrs. Maisa, for the very useful, informative presentation. And this can be a really big help for me and to all job hunters. Actually, Miss Maisa, sinulat ko to lahat. Kasi pwede itong i-share.
That's good.
Yes. I really admire your thoughts and everything. That's why I wrote it down here. Thank you so much. So people, please,
Thank you, Genesis.
you're welcome. So please don't forget to share this live stream and for the upcoming webinars with your friends or family who can really benefit from this event. Please do share this using the hashtag JustWorkspace and common mistakes of job hunters. And don't forget as well to fill in the form to have a chance to win 12 hours consumable for a month of work on your reserved station. Again, there are only 3 winners for those who submitted the form. Each episode has 3 winners. So for you to know who the winners are, you must check it on Just Workspace Facebook page. So we still have a few minutes to cater to all of your questions. You can comment your questions below and Miss Maisa will answer all those questions. We can only pick only 2 to 3 questions. So let's wait for the questions. Okay, so while waiting, you know what, people, it's so very important to know the common mistakes of job hunting. Okay, there's a question. So Miss Maisa, there's a question. What if your background is good and resume, pero bakit hindi pa din tinatanggap?
Okay, thank you for your question, RJ. I appreciate that. So, what if your background is good and your resume, pero bakit hindi pa din tinatanggap? This is very common. Number one, probably, that you should ask yourself is, are you applying for the right job that suits your experience? Okay. Number 2 is, have you read their job ad well enough to know kung lahat ba ng qualifications or credentials na hinahanap ng company is suitable doon sa experience mo? We have to remember that saying whether our background is good and our resume is good is very subjective. Okay? I don't want to hurt your feelings, but this is a fact of life. Okay? When you apply, there are hundreds of resumes that are being received by the HR practitioners. Okay? And they also have their own subjective assessment. Okay? As on top of having objective analysis, whether you are suitable for the job or not. Okay, so maybe what you can do, RJ, is you have to revisit the job ad of the company and see if pasok ba yung credentials mo doon sa hinahanap nila. Okay, because based on my experience, ang kalasan na ginagawa ng mga applicants, regardless of their age, okay, is pag nakita nilang customer service representative, automatic, iniisip ng applicant, ay ako to kasi naging customer service representative ako. Pero hindi nila binabasa kung may requirement ba ng number of years, may requirement ba ng line of business. Okay, so kung kunyari, yung experience mo is into healthcare, pero ang hinahanap nila is for travel. Okay? So, hindi enough na naging CSR ka lang. Okay? You have to make sure that you fit the bill as what we call it. Okay? So, sweetheart, your saying that background is good and resume is good is very subjective. Okay, so go back to their job ad and try to be objective about it and see if you fit the bill.
Wow, thank you so much. So we have here also Miss Maisa. Next question is, what are the reasons why some clients never respond to some of my proposal? I had 8 years of experience being a virtual assistant. Oh,
Okay, that's good. So, all right. My guess is this is in one of the freelancing platforms online. Okay, so the most common reason why clients never respond to your proposal is number one, sad to say, they are not very dedicated to having that platform as a source of their talent. Okay, you have to remember that clients or companies also have different sources of job boards, not just one. Okay, so like I also work for a lot of clients locally and abroad, and I also do postings of jobs for them, and we don't just post in one platform. Okay, so this is one of the common reasons why they never respond to your proposal, because there are just so many applications coming in, and maybe that platform that you are using may not be their main platform of hiring. Okay, number two is, how did you submit your proposal? Because just like what I mentioned to RJ also earlier, there are so many like you who are trying to land the job. Okay, so did you sell yourself enough? Okay, again, it's not enough to say I had 8 years of this. Okay, how did you sell that experience? Okay, it's not, even if you say I had 20 years experience of this, it's still not gonna be enough, because job hunting is like selling yourself. Okay, among the different people, among the different job hunters who are also trying to land a job. So how competitive are you? Okay, so always go back to how you present yourself, go back to your portfolio. Okay, it's very common for online jobs to have a portfolio, not just a resume. Okay.
very well said, Miss Maisa. Thank you so much.
Our
At
30
sila
minutes
pong
is
dalawa
not
ay
enough, no?
nagpapasalamat. On last question we have here, Miss Maisa. What are the common ICT skills that most of the employers are lowering nowadays? Is Miss
Looking for,
MS?
yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
looking. Sorry,
yes.
literate enough.
Mhm. Yeah. Okay. Is MS meaning Microsoft?
I
I
think
assume it
yes.
is Microsoft.
Mhm.
Okay, the MS Suite. Okay. Okay, if you look at the world of employers, you will find that there is just so much ICT skills out there. Okay, I cannot say what is common and what is not, because there's just so much job opportunities out there. Okay, but MS or Microsoft Office or MS Suite is very basic, Sophie. Even during school days, we had to learn it in order to submit our homework, to do our assignments. So having a literacy in MS Suite is enough, of course, but it is very basic, my dear. You have to try to find ways to advance yourself also. Okay, so maybe try to learn about using the Google Suite also. Okay, which also has its own set of word processor, spreadsheets, and all that. And also different tools. Okay, because in the world of freelancing, for example, or online job opportunities, when the clients try to hire, they already want something whose package deal. Okay, because it's not like the typical like call centers, for example, that we have here, that has like a structured training going on. Okay, normally when you do freelance, clients are expecting that you're already a package deal. Okay, you have already this stock knowledge in you, and you just have to apply it when you land the job. Okay, so to address your question is it's not so much about what are the common ICT skills that most of the employers are looking nowadays. Okay, because there is just so much. Okay, so what is it that you can offer to them? Because definitely there will always be a place for your specialty. Okay, but you just have to enhance it and present it in a way that you can sell yourself and your skills. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. Next question. Oh, last. This would be our last question, Miss Maisa. Nowadays, what's the
Okay.
most niche that has a big salary?
Okay, that is a very interesting question. Um, okay, this is very subjective, no, Lineal. Sweetheart, what do you mean by big salary? Because when it comes to money, it is also very subjective, right? Like what may be big for me may not be big for Genesis, right? Or for
Exactly.
you, Lineal. So, to ask this is uh, I mean, I can address this, okay? The most common niche that has big salaries is number one in IT, okay? In IT. Okay, so I've come across I've actually hired a few IT people before that has, hundreds of dollars per hour. Their rate is hundreds of dollars per hour. Okay, so that's one, that's IT. I'm not sure what niche you have, but definitely IT is one of those that pays really, really big. Okay, next is those who specialize in cryptocurrency. Okay. I can also say that HR pays a nice salary. Okay. And yeah, virtual assistance is also okay, depending on your skills. Okay. So I hope I answered your question.
Okay, thank you so much. So I think all of your questions were perfectly answered. Perfectly answered. So, people, viewers, this is not the end yet because we have 2 episodes left. So, I think it's very important to listen as well. Very important to have or susundin yung mga sinasabi ni Miss Maisa. It's just about the thought. Pero yung laman talaga, Miss Maisa. Thank you so much. So, Miss Maisa, do
You're
you have
welcome.
something to promote or where you can or where they can
Um,
contact you?
Okay, yeah. So I think you have my LinkedIn profile. I gave it earlier to Miss Joy. Okay, there you go. If you want to network with me, you can find me on LinkedIn. I encourage you guys to build your LinkedIn profile if you don't have one yet. You can network with me, and who knows, maybe we can even work together in the future. Or maybe, if I know anyone who's looking for something that you specialize in, I can also probably put in a good word for you. Let's see. Okay, so that's my LinkedIn profile there on the screen. Okay, so I don't want to promote anything. I want this to be, to focus really on our viewers and to help them try to get a more structured job hunting experience.
Thank you so much, Miss Maisa.
Mhm.
Okay, so that would be. Mm, Okay, so our next episode would be on July 21, and the topic would be steps on getting a job. And the last episode would be on July 28, and the topic is how equipped you are in getting a job. So, everyone, stay tuned. And don't forget again to fill in the form to have a chance to win 12 hours consumable for a month of work on your reserved station. Again, there are only 3 winners for those who submitted a form. Each episode has 3 winners. So for you to know who the winners are, you must check it on Just Workspace Facebook page. Don't forget the hashtag Just Workspace and hashtag Common Mistakes of Job Hunters. Now, Miss Maisa, do you have any announcement for
Yes.
or job opportunities?
No, no,
Okay,
that's it. I'm all good
thank
here.
you so
Thank you
much.
for all your questions. Yeah.
Thank you,
Genesis.
everyone. Thank you so much. And thank you again, everyone, for staying till the end of this event. See you in our next episode. As what George Eliot said, it is never too late to be what you might have been. God bless and good night, everyone.